Hey everyone, ArdrethShadow here, and welcome back to Doki Doki Shattered Time Rewind. The updated version, technically. Previously, we went on the date with Natsuki, which at least I believe a lot of people liked when this originally came out. But now, it seems like Natsuki's life is taking a turn for the worse after her dad gets arrested. Natsuki didn't show up for school today. She called him and said, "I'll see you at school later," but apparently not this later. Oh, yeah. She said she'd see me in school later, but she wouldn't lie to me, right? I don't know why this has me so worried, but it does. I spoke with Yuri earlier today, and she told me to come on by after school. I ring the doorbell and wait for her. After a few moments, I hear some fumbling with the lock and the door opens. There you are, Daniel. Come inside. Thanks. I step inside as she closes the door behind me. We sit on opposite sides as we make our way into the living room. Now then, you were telling me about how Natsuki's life is apparently worse now thanks to you screwing things up. More or less. I saw some police crowded around her house this morning on my way to school. Would that have anything to do with it? Ugh, damn it. Daniel? What's going on? Tell me. It's like this. Natsuki's dad is in jail now because he became a drug dealer. Her eyes widen and she stares at me in shock. Yeah. Talk about things going from bad to worse, right? Natsuki was telling me he was looking for a job, but he was sneaking off at night doing God knows what. Because he was being so shady about it, she had no clue what exactly he was up to. Goodness. I had no idea things had gotten that bad for her. Apparently they were. I can only hope that it isn't because of... No, it can't be. Because of what? Looking into things more, I stumbled onto something that confirmed a suspicion I had. Essentially, even if you are successful in meeting the terms of a wish ordeal with Tyrankos, there is a catch involved. Wait. So aside from him being a pathological liar saying whatever he wants... That's right. It seems that while you might get what you want, there will always be a downside involved. In this case, you saved Natsuki's life, and she gets to live. Now, though... Now it seems like her life is taking a turn for the worse. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term, but it almost sounds like a monkey's paw situation. The hell? Damn! There's no winning with this guy! As if Amy dying wasn't already a bad enough thing for her. Yeah, it's like, now things are really going bad. It's just a hunch, but let's just hope for Natsuki's sake that I'm off the mark. Tell me exactly what happened when you found out about all of this. Okay. She called me up scared on Sunday, and told me everything about how her dad got caught dealing drugs. She mentioned her aunt was coming for her, but she didn't really say much of anything else before hanging up on me. She said she'd see me at school, but I didn't see her at all today, and I have no idea what's going on since she's not answering her phone. Where is she now, though? Do you know? No. Aside from her aunt apparently going for her, that's all I know. Oh dear. What? I know we haven't spoken in a long time, but I did once stumble into a conversation where Natsuki was talking about her aunt. Did she say it was her father's sister? That's what she said. Why? All right. I wasn't sure if her mother had any siblings, as she never mentioned it to me. Anyway, from what I remember, she likened her aunt to a bitter old witch who hated life, more or less. What Are you kidding me? No, I'm afraid not. Those were her exact words, but that's why I mentioned it's been a while since we've last spoken. If that's not her life taking a turn for the worse, I don't know what is then. I would try reaching out to her if I could, just to help put you at ease. Although, we did know each other and spoke regularly, but she and I had something of a falling out around a year ago. She never mentioned that to me. In fact, she's never said anything bad about you. In fact, she mentioned you in her diary once, but thought you didn't like talking to her anymore. Well, that's somewhat of a relief. I could have sworn she hated me. That's not the important matter at hand, though. My point is that things could have changed since then, and perhaps her aunt isn't so much of a bitter old miser as she made her out to be. I'd like to hope so. Wait, you said that you and Natsuki had a falling out? Wait, you said that you and Natsuki had a falling out? Not one of my proudest moments, but yes. Why do you ask? Now that I'm thinking about it, I had no idea what she meant about you not wanting to talk to her anymore. Yes. A while back, we had something of an argument when she tried to introduce me to her favorite manga. I argued that I wasn't interested in such things, as it wasn't to my liking. I feel as though she took it the wrong way, and things soured between us since then. She did tell me how she didn't have anyone to share all that stuff with. She also told me how she'd get made fun of for it. She also told me how she'd get made fun of it. Okay, I think I did mean she'd get made fun of for it. People ragging on her for liking kids stuff and whatever. Maybe you accidentally hit a sore spot for her or something like that. When you put it that way, it does seem to make sense now. That was never my intention, although I am often so terrible with expressing my thoughts verbally. As am I. I must have just... To think our falling out was caused by a simple misunderstanding. I mean, I wasn't there, so I can't say for sure. At least from the time I've spent with her, that's what I can come up with. It sounds as though the two of you have gotten rather close. I can feel those awkward feelings bubbling up in me again. I think Yuri catches on to how uneasy I am. Daniel, you don't hate Natsuki, do you? What? No! I mean, sure, I didn't know anything about her before, but after we got to talking and even spending the afternoon on Saturday, I just... The fact she could confide in you during her time of need shows you mean a great deal to her. The way you're so concerned about her now, it's clear she means a great deal to you as well. Yeah, but... I don't know what's wrong with me. Wrong? Whatever do you mean? There's nothing to be ashamed of, Daniel. I think it's wonderful that you two have gotten along so well. There's more to it than that, Yuri. The way I feel about her. I haven't felt this way about anyone since... She nervously walks over and puts a hand on my shoulder, giving me a sympathetic look. She sits down next to me as I make room for her. I can imagine how difficult it's been having to carry on without her. She was this close to telling him exactly what Kotonoha truly felt about him. I'll just say to keep it in mind, but I'm pretty sure it might be obvious by now. You meant a lot to her, Daniel. Maybe she didn't know how you felt about her, but I imagine if she did, she wouldn't want you to go through life feeling so sad and miserable without her. I know. But when I think about her and what I'm feeling toward Natsuki, it feels like an insult to her memory. Man. Like an insult to her memory? She hit the nail right on the head. All I can do is give a sad nod. I can assure you that's not the case here. You're not insulting her memory by trying to move forward with your own life. I know it sounds so goddamn stupid, but I don't want to forget about her. You won't, Daniel. The fact we're here right now talking about her shows that she holds... The fact we're here right now talking about her shows she still holds a lot of meaning to you. As I said before, you meant a great deal to her as well. Yeah, I kind of mentioned in a previous video, but yeah, Yuri's voice, at least doing Yuri's voice for extended amounts of time does leave me lightheaded and I need to catch my breath sometimes. Maybe she didn't express it so overtly to you, but she did with me whenever we spoke. She did? Absolutely. Listen to the funny lady. I learned a lot about you from her. Frankly, more than I anticipated, if you ask me. Oh. I didn't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in the sense that I learned probably whatever I needed to and more to understand you. And that was only in the times when I ever asked her about you. Point being here is that she cared about you at the end of the day. She wouldn't want to see you so miserable and unable to be happy in life. Which, if it isn't obvious by now, I've had some people complain that, well, aside from not liking the mod because it has a lot of fantasy elements and whatever, there have been people complaining that the MC was too edgy in this story. That was a complaint from the original. In fact, I think someone even said that he was annoying for no reason. Back then, the reason for that was just the idea being life had kind of kicked him around. And then, well, it's the cherry on top was kind of he had a bit of a troubled home life, his parents got divorced, and he was just dealing with a lot of issues. So, I mean, if you think of it that way, would he really have been sunshine, lollipops, and everything else in life? So then I kind of took it a step further. And so in addition to all that stuff from the original Shattered Time, now he has to deal with... The best way I can put it is a lot of guilt and a ton of post-traumatic stress. Because think of it this way. He loved Kotonoha, if it wasn't obvious enough. He wanted to protect her because she meant so much to him. He failed her, and he saw her dead in her kitchen. Now tell me, how do you think someone is going to respond to that? Do you think they're going to be happy? No. In fact, if anything, the way MC is going about it is essentially he's punishing himself. The way he sees it, he failed Kotonoha, the woman he loved, his first love. He couldn't be there to protect her. He basically feels like a failure. And we'll touch on... well, it'll be touched on a bit more later on, spoiler alert, but... essentially, he's here, punishing himself for failing Kotonoha by... well, essentially trying to live in a world without her, and he feels miserable because she meant so much to him and now she's gone, and he kind of doesn't know how to move forward because he's still, like, it's obvious he still loves her even now. And he feels all this guilt, thinking, I failed her, I couldn't be there for her. Like, I don't deserve to be happy in that sense. So that's why I'm here. Like, you can think of it like he's essentially punishing himself by not, trying to move forward, by holding on to that memory of her, that last memory he has of ever seeing her. So, at least with that in mind, tell me, do you still think this MC should be, do you think he's going to be all smiles and sunshine after having to deal with an experience like that, in addition to all of the nonsense he was dealing with before? Me personally, I don't think so.
I can already hear her saying she couldn't forgive herself, knowing she did that to you.
I see.
It's clear that you'll never forget her, Daniel, so there's nothing to worry about. Likewise, moving on with your life wouldn't be an insult to her memory. If you truly have something special with Natsuki, I would say it's best not to have anything left unsaid like with Kotonoha.
Who knew you had the makings of a therapist in you?
What? Oh, well, I only felt that...
No, I'm only saying since it's not often you speak your mind like that. Whenever Koto mentioned you, she'd say that she wished you could speak your mind more and not keep things so locked up.
It seems she had a few things left unsaid herself. Things she couldn't bring herself to say to us directly, at least.
Looks that way.
Alright. For now, I would say to just keep an eye out for Natsuki at school. Don't worry so much about calling or texting her. While I'm certain she would appreciate you wanting to see if she's okay, I somehow imagine a number of incessant calls and text messages might overwhelm her. I'll make sure Miyu and I are behind you every step of the way, so don't worry on that front. That's exactly why I advised her about removing her ring too much during this time.
Wait, so you told her to keep wearing it? I thought you two were trying to make some kind of fashion statement.
No. A part of me deep down felt it would have been too easy for Tarankos to simply let you off the hook.
Man.
A part of me deep down felt it would have been too easy for Tarankos to simply let you off the hook upon completing the terms of the curse. I didn't want to alarm you, so I never said anything out loud. I did, however, caution Miyu about the ring after I told her why I was feeling so ill at ease about the matter. She agreed and told me she wanted to continue being there for you.
Wow. Thank you, Yuri.
It's no problem at all. I understand how difficult it's going to be, but for now, try not to overthink the situation with Natsuki so much. At least, not until you have concrete evidence of what's going on.
Alright. I'll do my best. And thanks again, by the way.
It's no problem at all. If anything happens, please don't hesitate to let me know, alright?
You've got it. After parting ways with Yuri, I begin walking home. There are so many things swirling around in my mind right now. Not just the whole thing with Natsuki, but everything Yuri unloaded on me back there. It's all just... That's when I stop in my tracks and change course. I guess it would have been too much to come here and expect to see Natsuki again. I plot myself on the lone bench and look out at the lake in front of me. All this time, I was so afraid of forgetting about Kotonoha. As silly as it sounds, it felt like if I ever forgot her, it'd be the same as acting like she never existed to begin with. So, again, even to this day, he still holds Kotonoha in his heart. And, well, my memory's kind of hazy. After hearing all this from Yuri, my memory being kind of hazy, Kotonoha was based, at least the way I write her, considering she is MC's first love in this mod, and she was technically one of MC's first loves in the mod I refuse to name, I felt that it was only fitting that I based her around my first love, a girl by the name of Madeline, who I met in my teenage years. This was kind of during a time, in high school where I was feeling kind of like alone and kind of like an outcast, so that's why I often say that Yuri is like the one I relate to the most, because I've been there. I've been the outcast who's been kind of sitting alone, struggling to talk to people, all the while being seen as something of an outcast or even a freak. And I did initially like it how in this bond we share, where it expanded on that a bit. And it definitely made me feel, well, it made me feel for her, because for real, I've been there. Anyhow, Maddie, as she told me as I could call her, she meant more to me than she probably ever truly knew. And I mean, some of those quirks in Kotonoha are there from her. Like, even the fact that Kotonoha in our mods tells people, call me Koto for short. Maddie pretty much told me the same thing, because she felt like, I know Madeline is kind of a mouthful to say and type out, so I kind of honored her wishes then. So yeah, I felt like if Monica is going to be based off, well, sort of based around the previous girl I loved, Darlene, I felt like Kotonoha, it only made sense to have her based on the first girl that I loved, Madeline. So, trying to kind of hint at, or what I'm kind of getting at here is that this whole thing with Kotonoha here, it's kind of based on a couple of things. Number one, the fact that Kotonoha is based around Madeline, who, despite us being so close, to the point of like making this silly promise of always trying to be there for each other, which, again, once we went into college, our own separate colleges, once she went off to do her own thing, it got a lot harder for her to, keep up with speaking with me, and it kind of happened on my end as well. It was just very chaotic for the both of us having to deal with so much schoolwork. As time kind of went on and she was talking to me less and less, she did kind of tell me how she was kind of coming out of her shell and talking to people more, and how, talking to me did sort of help a lot with that. until eventually she just stopped replying to me in general. And with that, essentially, well, as some people have told me, she pretty much ghosted me, and I have not heard from her since. She had dreams of trying to become a Let's Player on YouTube. She did make the channel, but she never did anything with it. So, I basically took it on myself to create the ArdrethShadow channel, like, in response to her sort of dream never coming to fruition. In addition to that, Maddie was the one who kind of convinced me not to give up on my writing and drawing. Especially when it comes to my drawing, to just, keep at it. And to not be afraid to express myself. Around the time my mother died, I did kind of give up on all that, though, because it just felt... it didn't give me that same joy anymore. And then, well, not having her there really did leave, like, this void. Because I lost somebody that I could talk to and rely on. And, well, she never even got to know what I truly felt for her. So, I think by now you can kind of see some parallels between MC and Kotonoha, and then me and Madeline. The second thing that this is based around is, well, in April 2022, in fact, we're coming up on it, practically, because it's April 11th, 2025. One night in April that month was when one of our mutual friends was sharing, like, this GoFundMe link for a funeral for Darlene. And that destroyed me inside. Despite us having a very rough falling out, she still meant a lot to me. Despite her seemingly not wanting me around anymore and pushing me away, I still hoped that she would be happy and maybe find someone who could be there for her and give her the love and support that I never could. But it didn't happen. Kotonoha's death in this mod is kind of a reflection of what Maddie meant to me. The pain I kind of felt when, well, I didn't have her in my life anymore. And the excruciating pain I felt the day I learned that Darlene had passed away. So a lot of this story kind of dips into, I guess you could say, the pain I felt of losing, well, sort of losing, quote-unquote, two girls that meant a lot to me. I would like to imagine Maddie is okay, that she's safe and happy somewhere and successful. Tell me, Koto, when I die, is there a chance I'll ever get to see you again? I look up into the sky, asking a pointless question I know I'll never get an answer to. I let out a deep sigh as I run my hands through my hair. I just need to calm down, just like Yuri said. Although considering everything I've been through up to now, I'm surprised I didn't have a mental breakdown sooner. Hey, old man. Would having a mental breakdown make me weak as... Hey, old man. Would having a mental breakdown make me weak too? Or make me weak too? Am I supposed to bottle up those feelings and never think about them? That's pretty much what my father kind of made me do. Because, again, crying makes you weak and blah blah blah. In fact, when I did suffer kind of a nervous breakdown after the death of my mother, in addition to telling me, like, that whole thing about no matter who you are, no matter what you do, the world will continue with or without you, essentially brushing off my feelings, like, quit feeling sad for yourself and move on with your life. He did look at me having a mental breakdown as being like, what's wrong with you? Like, why? Like, why are you doing this? It's like, well, because I lost the one parent who meant the world to me and who actually gave a damn about me. That's why. I don't know anymore. I closed my eyes to try losing myself in the serene ambience of the lake view. Natsuki said she'd come here to calm herself down, right? Maybe that's why I subconsciously forced myself over here. After taking a few moments to myself, I start to feel a little bit better. A while passes before I decide to get up and resume going home. Taking a moment to literally stop and breathe seemed to help a lot. And it really does. Had I been able to do that more, I imagine I maybe wouldn't have had a mental breakdown. Because it just seemed like I was dealing with one thing after another. My mother passing away kind of set off like this domino effect, and I never really had a moment to stop and breathe. It almost felt like, it was overwhelming. After all, I hardly had any time for that when this whole thing began. See? Whether it was trying to solve the mystery of Natsuki's death, to straight up fighting her old man mano y mano, I've almost always been doing something that's kept me on edge. Maybe it's all just getting to me finally, and I just... Well, what do we have here? Great, it's gorilla breath. Out of all the people in the world, why did I run into him? I slowly turn around to see his stupid face. Couldn't think of it, I hadn't seen him in a while. Yeah, almost a week. It felt good, but I guess all good things have to come to an end sometime, right? Where are you off to on this fine day, little edgelord? Nowhere that concerns you. Ouch. What's with the tough guy act? I'm just asking a simple question here. Bold to assume I even want to talk to you right now. Huh. Yeah, just keep up the edgelord act. It's gonna get old pretty soon. After that, you're gonna end up all alone. I bet not even your small little girlfriend would want to put up with you. What did you say? Yeah, I've seen you hanging around with that siren chick girl. I've got to say, isn't she technically a step down from that last girl you used to be around? Sure, she's cute and all, but I have to admit, Kotonoha really had it going on. No. Remember what you said to Mio. Even though it's really tempting to beat his stupid face in while there's no witnesses around, he's just trying to get to you. That's all it is. Just remember, even Aiko is smarter than he is. He probably doesn't understand half of the words coming out of his stupid mouth right now. Then again, who am I to judge, right? You're right, especially considering you're always off simping for a different girl every single day. That got him. The fuck you say to me? I turn around and keep on walking. What the hell? Get back over here, fuckface! Nah. I'm done talking to you, monkey boy. I'd much rather go home now than spend another minute listening to you. Thankfully, he doesn't even try to follow me. At least he has some idea of when to quit, I'll give him that. Now I can try to relax and unwind at home. It isn't long after I have dinner and finish my homework that I'm able to settle in for the night. As I lie down, something Jorichiro said earlier kind of echoes in my mind. Girlfriend. Thinking about it, I've never had an official girlfriend before. Kotonoha was the closest, but I never told her how I felt. We were close friends, but we were never officially dating. She was never aware of what I was feeling for her, and not like she felt that way about me. Yeah, unfortunately, more spelling mistakes, or... well, I guess, technically not spelling mistakes, more like I forgot a word here. Jeez. I remember what Natsuki's diary said about her and me, but she didn't see me that way. I wanted to be with her. I loved her. But I wasn't going to force her to love me back. Natsuki, on the other hand. A part of me still questions if what we had on Saturday was an actual date or not, but on paper, it checks most of the boxes. Even Mom was making a huge deal about it before, as if it was a real date. I'm not too sure where Natsuki stands on the matter, but I'll hopefully find out soon. At this point, I don't want to bother reading the diary now. Not only because it's wrong, but I'm just too tired today. After mulling things over, I turn off the lights and try to get some sleep. June 11th, 2019. Okay, well... this is probably going to be another short video, but... at least if I'm going to do it this way... I mean, it kind of works out that way. You can almost view it like in a day-by-day or loop-by-loop sort of progress there. But yeah, I know. Sorry about that. I know most of this video was me talking about whatever, but... I'm saying the video's kind of running long, well, long-ish. And it's going to get even longer. Natsuki still hasn't called or messaged me back today. I left her alone as Yuri suggested, but the weight is eating me alive. I managed to get through half of the school day, and now I'm here having lunch with Yuri and Mio. I've become very used to this by now, having done this for about a week. Yuri took it on herself to talk to Mio about everything that happened up until now.
If you recall, I did tell you I had my suspicions of how something like this could happen at any time. I'm still uncertain if this is pure coincidence or not, but it could not have happened at a worse time. Wow, you're not joking. I kept the ring on as much as possible, so there's nothing to worry about there. I'm sorry we had to be so secretive about it, though, Daniel. I wanted to tell you, but Yuri nearly swore me to secrecy to avoid freaking you out even more.
No need to apologize. I get that. And she's right. Knowing me, I probably would have been losing my mind a lot sooner if I knew all this. The downside is that Yuri's probably right, and Tarankos is just going to screw things up no matter what I do.
I stress that it's just a theory right now. For the time being, we don't have concrete evidence that proves my monkey's paw theory.
Maybe, but don't forget that I actually met him. Not face to face, but I got to hear his voice and feel that murderous vibe he was giving off. I can't explain it, but considering he straight up lied about Mio dying in that fire, I don't think it'd be too out of character for him to pull some stunt like negative karma either.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. If you ask me, he already sounds like a con artist. With that higher intellect of his, he's beyond your average con artist, though. The fact he has access to all this magic power and whatever only makes it even worse.
I never likened him to a con artist before, but thinking about it logically, you're right. He's more dangerous than your everyday swindler, that's for sure. Are you sure there's nothing we can do? I still haven't managed to find anything specific about this curse. From what I have gathered, it seems as though these rituals are just his many ways of torturing a human spirit until it breaks. All for his own amusement, I should add.
And I'm the fucking lab rat he gets to torture in this little experiment of his.
You shouldn't be so hard on yourself, Daniel. A number of his victims all had good intentions when performing these rituals or wishes they wanted to come true. What none of them expected was for Tarankos to lock them into a contract full of lies and deception. You just wanted to save Natsuki's life. Unfortunately, Amy seemed to prey on you like an innocent lamb for slaughter and took advantage of that.
Damn it, Amy.
She's the root cause of all this, if you ask me. I still don't understand how she was able to sing some little song to get him to do the ritual, but she did it, and that's where we stand now. I don't understand the logistics of it myself, but yes. That song has some magic properties similar to Siren's Call, so sadly it seems Daniel was powerless against it.
So we're back at square one, basically.
I'm not giving up so easily, Daniel. I'm sure there is an answer out there. In the worst case scenario, I could enlist the help of my Aunt Tsubasa.
Kotonoha's mother?
Precisely. I held off on doing so, as I didn't want to worry or involve her, but it seems like we might have to take desperate measures. At the very least, I'm hoping she would allow me access to all the ancient texts she inherited from grandmother to do research.
Are you sure that's okay?
It isn't as though we're estranged, if that's what you mean. In fact, she still checks on me from time to time when Mother is working overseas. She and my uncle just haven't fully recovered from Kotonoha's death, is all. I just hate the idea of putting more stress on her on top of the grief she's already feeling. At the same time, however, I don't see any alternative. In so many ways, I feel like this is beyond me. Considering Mother is unreachable right now, Aunt Tsubasa is the only one I can turn to. I know she'll understand once I explain everything to her, but even so, I wish it didn't come down to this.
Seriously? It's too bad there's no way to kill Tarankos or some other way to make him stop doing this crazy shit.
Believe me when I say that I'm right there with you. I've heard that some have tried, but they all failed, especially since he's literally untouchable in another universe. Even if you dragged him out to slay him yourself, it would be difficult. As grandmother used to say regarding Tarankos, magic must defeat magic. Modern day weapons most likely wouldn't do much against him unless they were blessed or enchanted with some kind of magic.
Like maybe a knife made of xenothioid metal, like those rings?
Possibly. I can't say for sure, but you're on the right track. Sadly, there's no way to test that, so it'll remain a mystery for now. All I can say is that it could be plausible.
The bell rings before we can have any further discussion.
Just remember that no matter what happens, we'll both be with you every step of the way, Daniel. Don't give up. That's right.
The funny lady gives you her encouragement.
I imagine if I told her you're the one in trouble, Aunt Tsubasa would be more than willing to aid you as well. She took quite a liking to you, from what I understand.
Well, okay, Yuri. Thanks. I guess there's nothing left to do now but go to class. We say our farewells and go our separate ways.